My name is Arthur Rain, the Chief of the Paul First Nation. First, I want to thank the invitation for having us here today. I think what we're experiencing in our community is something that's almost experiencing in other communities. It's been many years that our society has changed on our reserve. Things were very casual before 1966, and I just read a portion of a history by Elder Alexa Simon. He said things were okay before 1966. Children respected their parents. We visited each other in households and respected one another. We did our work. He said and he specifically says the government allowed us to use alcohol, bring alcohol to the communities. That was the beginning. And from there, the respect started to fade away. Children will respect their parents. And the respect that we had for visiting each other is no longer there. He said a lot of things are lost. He said, and quote, just to address this issue. And today, I think that our society on reserve is very influenced by the greater society. I listen to rap music because my grandson is 15, and I hear the language that's used in those songs. And the youngsters want to live that life. They want to be cool, but the language doesn't sound too good. And the more they use it, the respect for good language is not there. And too many adult movies like Fast and Furious. There they featured auto theft from the upper level cars, I guess you want to call them. And they brought them to a market where they get liquidated. And that's exactly what's happened on reserve. Some just use it for transportation. Others use it maybe to sell partners. Some don't even get to use them. They're already burned. And by the time police is on the trail. And further, movies like drug lords and cartels, along with their gangs, all those equal res life today. We live that life. The young people try to live that life. And they kind of disregard the wisdom of the old people, because all that has been washed away through drug abuse and substance abuse. So that care that they gave one another to listen to each other in maybe teaching in good way of life is no longer there. You very seldom find a youngster visiting an older person, an elder, seeking advice. To lead to the circumstances we've experienced on the reserve the last couple of weeks. 2017, we had a police report from Nelson Salter. And I said, Nelson, there's a lot of activity on the reserve. But our reserve, there's no homicides yet, because in the spreadsheet, the homicides is 0. The following week, we had a homicide. Young lady was shot. And from there, it just seems to be a trend. It's happening. And I'm not sure. I heard on TV last night, they were talking about the COVID-19 issue. And a real challenge to the world, like what we're talking about today. And the one speaker, I can't remember the name, but he said, we may not win the war, but we don't leave the war zone, he said. We want to make sure we do something to help. And this is a big task for us. We have very limited resources. We rely heavily on the RCMP from Spruce Grove. And they're about, no matter how fast they drive, at least they're about 25 minutes away. And a lot of things can happen in 25 minutes. So then I was talking to our new executive team today. Our roads are another challenge. There may be an elder in some remote area that maybe you want to leave, but because of the road condition can't leave. And that goes for emergency vehicles, the RCMP responding to a call there or ambulance. Even our local service equipment can get to that point B sometimes. So that's a challenge for us because of the road conditions. And we try to develop an economic base so people can have something to look at and feel the ownership. One thing we don't do is we don't classify our people through the Maslow's hierarchy like most societies do. We know where we're at. We have a real challenge just meeting basic needs in the community: housing, employment. How's the ownership going to come if the employee's not there? And we have 240 homes, roughly 1,500 or better living on reserve. So there's a lot of crowding in one unit. So that calls for a water truck a lot more frequent than just an ordinary family living in the unit. So the septic service truck. So we get a lot of calls. Our service units are almost working 24/7. Our operators burn out, and it's hard to get the turnovers in employment. So we have all kinds of challenges, but the help we get from the outside, I can't imagine how it would be if we didn't have the help from the outside. Like meeting like here, to enlighten us that everybody's got the same problem maybe, and trying to move forward in some positive actions and develop strategies to maybe overcome. In conclusion, I want to say that a lot of people send texts and email to me, what are you doing, to all these events that are taking place. I don't respond to all of them. I do respond to some. And I forward the messages to the counselors. But what I have invited a counselor that was recommended to me to help us. I said, our priority is to have community wellness. We want people thinking healthy so they can be healthy and live. And when they start thinking healthy, then things are going to turn better. Hopefully. So we need someone to analyze and help us develop strategies. They're not going to come to us, and we have to go to them. And that's the tough part. Other conventional methods, you open your doors and you wait. You can wait forever. Like Mr. Simon said back in 1966, the problem began then. So we can't wait anymore. It's So we've got the council working on a proposal, how we may help our community and doing some wellness programs. The other is criminal justice. I remember 9/11 disaster when President Bush stepped up. To me, he has the authority to say this. Those who are responsible are accountable. For us, we can't say that because we don't investigate. We have our third party who come and investigate. Only that we can stress some form of justice to go back. It's the laws of the land. It's the laws of the Creator. We don't take the lives from anybody or ourselves. So it's not right to take a life. People who do it should be responsible for their actions. And that's a long way to go to meet that problem face to face. But we can't stop. We can't leave the war zone. So with that, I want to say thank you for having us.
Thanks for those words, Chief. Thank you so much.